Where do you find events? Hey everybody, my name is Jen Gear and I'm going to talk to you today about where you can find events, whether it's in-person events, whether it's online digital events. So you're in a business, whether it's a network marketing business, whether it's the jewelry business, we find events. That's how we meet different people. Now you can do your own events like hostess parties, home parties where people come to your home, but it's nice to reach out and to meet different people. So online events could be Facebook Live events. It could be where you're part of a group and lots of people sell different things where it's just an event. It's not like an ongoing group that does that. And in-person events could be a home party. It could be a vendor show somewhere. It could be a club get together. It could be a bingo night somewhere. The list goes on and on and on. But I wanted to talk to you today about how to find them. So to find, let's start with online events and how to find them on social media. So you have your Facebook account. We are going to flip around so I can show you where to find these. Okay, so this is my Facebook feed and I already clicked on the event tab, so you can find your event tabs and click on that. Now this shows things that I might be interested in, right? If I've clicked going to an event before, it will show up things that are similar. That's how the algorithm works. Okay, or popular with friends, people that you're friends with, or other events like craft fairs. But when you come here, it will say shopping, networking, other, causes, arts, whatever you're interested in. Now, if you click on these, what I do is I just flip through and see what I might be interested in, okay? Online events, right? We can click through and see what it could be available. Now, I want you to think outside the box, okay? Outside the box. Could you put up a paparazzi booth outside one of these places, right? Could you set up, I seen a chalk the block. Okay, so if somebody is doing an art show and they're outside, they're outside and they're setting up where you draw, you chalk, kids draw and they create stuff on the concrete. Couldn't you say, hey, I could pass out free waters and could I set up my little paparazzi stand there, right? So you want to think outside the box. If you know somebody is doing a run, right, where, there's runners, the marathons, things like that. Is there a spot that you could set up where you have sunscreen or you have water, but you also have your jewelry? Is there somebody having a pool tournament, where you could go set up? I mean, the options are endless if you think outside the box. A dog show. I've done dog show events. But other places that you can find events is ask your network marketing friends. If one of your girlfriends sells clothes, ask her, hey, are you doing any home shows where I could tag along? Because jewelry and clothes, yes, they go together, right? And the same thing when you're doing an event, call her and it will work both ways. But another girl that might be selling candles or a guy that sells Tupperware. I mean, the options are endless there. Just reaching out to your friends and saying, hey, I'm getting into these home shows or I'm getting into these in-person events. Do you know of any coming? Because years ago, everybody would put everything in a traditional newspaper, right? Most newspapers are now online. Yep. And sometimes, I will be honest, I think they're hard to navigate when you're trying to find certain topics, right? So I ask around. The other one is called the Chamber of Commerce. So every town has a Chamber of Commerce, every county, things like that. So if you search Chamber of Commerce for your county, they usually have an event or they usually have a calendar of events of what's going on. And you can look in events that you're willing to travel to, like locations you're willing to travel to. So if you have a friend that lives in a town 3 hours away, you could message her and say, hey, do you know of events coming on? Can I sleep on your couch? Right? And you can, and see what she says, but you can also look up in those areas, chambers of commerce, to see what's going on in that town. Also, the main, probably most well-known is Facebook groups. Look for some in your area. Look for some in the areas you're willing to travel to. If you're willing to travel to 3 states away because because your sister-in-law, your mom lives there, your cousin lives there, somewhere where you could stay, or you're just willing to travel to, look in those areas, become members of part of those groups so you are able to find those events in those areas. But it really just takes a little bit of time reaching out and asking, hey, what's going on? Also, bulletin boards, right? Bulletin boards are old school, and you can, when you go into a store, look on there, because some local vendors will still put up flyers on those bulletin boards that say what's going on. Take a picture of it, send them a message and say, hey, do you have a paparazzi vendor at your event? One huge tip I must share with you, and if you need to, write it down. Don't forget this one, is to always ask, is there a paparazzi accessories consultant already at your event? Okay? Always ask. We are only allowed one consultant per event. Okay. Now, if you have a business that's Jen's Blings and Things, let's say it's named that, you want to let your vendor person know, hey, I'm Jen's Blings and Things, and I sell paparazzi accessories. We're only able to have one consultant at an event. I just wanted you to know. And most event organizers, if they've been in the business long enough, they know that you only have one company per event makes that person more successful than saying, I don't care how many vendors we have of this company and this company, it's just open, I'm not going to deal with it. Those are events I stay away from, because they don't care and they're just in it for the money for the booth. Okay. So but you've got to ask, and you have to determine whether that event is worth your time or not. Okay. Now, if you go to an event and you set up and there's already a paparazzi consultant there, do the bigger thing and go talk to them and work something out. Maybe she could do one day, you could do the other day. But don't get crabby about it. Figure out who might have paid their booth rent first, things like that. And you can totally do that. And we'll cover more of that when we do our event training. I hope you guys found value in this tip today on where to find events. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe if you're on my YouTube channel. I truly enjoy helping you. My name is Jen Gear. We'll see you later.